Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Cameron St. Clair here, and I have my mom.
Hi.
I'm so excited for today's video. We're gonna be doing a review of Wicked. I know this has been like the most talked about movie this year. Everyone's been super excited about it. Just premiered this past Friday. And we took my little sister, Ava. It was like a cute little mommy-daughters day. And then we were just like nonstop talking about it in the car, and I was like, wait, we should kind of make a video about this because I felt like our takes were very interesting and I haven't seen them on the internet yet. So yeah, all right, let's get started. So first things first, there will be spoilers in this review, obviously because we're reviewing, but it's been a couple decades since this story has come out, so I don't really know if that's a spoiler. And number two, we did not see the musical on Broadway, so a lot of this plot I feel like was very new to us. Our only introduction to this storyline was The Wizard of Oz. Well, for me, it was The Wiz.
For me, it's both.
Okay.
I love both. But yeah, that's my reference. And I guess the only thing I would say is like Wicked goes more in depth of the background of the witch, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
All right, so let's start from the very beginning of the film. It starts off with us hearing that the Wicked Witch of the West is dead and everybody's cheering, but we already knew that from the movies, The Wizard of the Oz and The Oz, or is it The Wiz? Diana Ross is The Wiz.
The Wiz.
Yeah, that's the only one I saw. And then one of the village kids says, hey, Galinda, weren't you guys friends? And she was like, yeah, a long time ago. And then the story, kicks off. And I believe one of the first few scenes is when we see Elphaba.
Elphaba.
Elphaba. Why can't I say it? Elphaba. I don't know why I can't say that. Oh my gosh.
You could call her what?
Alfie? No.
No, because she didn't like that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's actually one of our points about her not being able to pronounce her name. And here I am not being able to pronounce her name. Elphaba. I got it. Elphaba. I think I just haven't misspelled here. And so I'm trying to pronounce it like that.
I think you actually have it spelled correctly.
Got it. Okay, Elphaba. It kicks off with like her origin story and how she even got here. So number one, Mom, did you know, because you know more about like the storyline than me, did you know that her mom like had an affair?
Well, see, that's my whole thing. Like, is this like because it's an adaptation, is this like, that's where I don't know. I haven't seen Wicked, so I don't know that background. But also, like, was that really the background of the Wicked Witch of the West? You know what I mean?
That's like how she was birthed?
Yeah, like I'm talking about, I don't think so. I feel like that's like a new age spin.
But nobody else seemed surprised by that her mom, or maybe no one else really knew. Maybe
or it's
you're right.
just something that came about as they wrote the screenplay or the script for Wicked.
Yeah. Well, that was very shocking to me, and I actually saw someone else say this. It kind of felt rushed. It kind of felt like we didn't really fully understand, like, okay, as soon as her dad left, all of a sudden this new guy comes out of nowhere, they get drunk. I also didn't pick up on the fact that she was drinking a green drink, and that's how her skin color became green. Did you pick up on that?
I didn't know. I did see the green bottle, but I didn't think that the drink was green or that's why she ended up being
like the liquor.
Green. We also didn't see the face of the person that she was with. I thought it was the Wiz.
Wait, no.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're gonna get to that.
Spoiler alert.
We're gonna get to that. I'm crying.
Sorry.
Actually, a lot of people didn't pick that up.
Really?
Like, I was texting some of my friends. I was like, yeah, my mom called out who the dad was, and I fact checked it, and yeah, that's the dad. Well, I told you I was gonna be some spoilers, but again, that's technically not a spoiler. But yeah, so when I was also looking this up, apparently what they were drinking, like that alcohol, there was like a green potion or something in it that caused her skin color to come out as green. Now, something that was super interesting that I took note of and we kind of discussed in the car was her father's reaction and how disgusted and appalled he was. But literally, there's talking animals in the room with them. So it's just so interesting that, like, okay, so we can accept, like, these talking animals as normal. Like, literally your nanny's a bear. However, you see your daughter come out as green, and it's like, oh, the horror of it all.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's definitely about the color of her skin, you know.
Which is also interesting because her mom is black. Something that I kind of talked to you about in the car was I never saw the Wicked Witch as being a black woman. But then, like, when you see the movie, and I don't know if it's because it's Cynthia playing her or if this was all very intentional, when everyone's just so shocked and surprised by the color of her skin, it just feels so intentional. It feels like the writers, like, really wanted to emphasize race in this movie. However, I feel like the original plots, it was never focused on that. It was just this evil woman who is not attractive and happens to be green. However, Cynthia in the movie is intentionally very beautiful, and yet everyone's still horrified by how different she looks.
Because she's different. But I would have to say I don't necessarily think that it had to be that way, because the original Wicked Witch of the West in I do know the Broadway was Taye Diggs' ex-wife, who is white.
Who is white, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't think... But maybe that's how they added something new and fresh to the movie adaptation. But I will say that I couldn't see anyone else but Cynthia in that role now.
Yeah, for sure. It's also like, dang, maybe we should have seen the musical, because I'm just trying to understand, like, what was the theme, what was the tone of the actual play itself versus this movie. Because again, like we just kept talking about, it feels like it's so heavily focused on race and just the differences within there. But then, like, if it's played by a white woman in a musical, would we have felt the same way? Or is it literally because Cynthia is playing it, she has, like, you know, micro-length braids, and she has these beautiful acrylic nails, you know?
I wonder if it's more just about how no one is inherently good or bad. You know what I mean? There's a backstory to what brought her to that point of being wicked, you know? Yeah. And it was a lot about the people around her. And how they treated let her down and left her out and alienated her. Yeah. Okay, so let's transition over to Galinda. And I'm very curious about your initial thoughts on the character itself, how Ariana played her, and also, do you think she was genuinely the protagonist in this film? Was there one protagonist, I guess? I mean...
do you mean, was anyone the protagonist?
Well, at this point, isn't Elphaba? Elphaba hasn't done anything bad yet. Yeah, that's true. I assume that's part 2. But, you know...
Right. Yeah, because then she becomes wicked at some point. So.
Right. And I mean, really, if you think about it, even Glinda kind of was mean to her. She felt bad about it, but she gave her the hat. She knew everyone would tease her. And then she felt bad once that happened. And so, of course, she, you know, I guess, to me, there's no one who's inherently good or bad, right? Like, you know, there's always a backstory, of course. And then, you know, everyone has redeeming qualities, because that was really good when she, like, kind of came to her. Oh, did you feel like it was white savior?
I did.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Not to be that woke friend. Yeah, I feel like everyone talks about how they teared up in the movies about that, but that's not how I felt about it. Like, one, you set the poor girl up. You literally were just saying with your friends, I wouldn't give this hat to my worst enemy, and then suddenly it's on her head. And you knew she was going to embrace it because she loves the color black, and you know, it was her style, but you did it to make fun of her. And then when everyone else made fun of her, you suddenly felt bad. But did you even feel bad, or was it because the doctor had just said, your roommate is going to now allow you to, like, work with us, and that's what Galinda wanted. You remember how in the beginning of the, in the beginning of the dance that they all had, the doctor came down, pulled Galinda to the side and said, hey, you can sign up for my witch classes. I don't really want you here, but your roommate threatened to drop out. Then all of a sudden she was like, dang, I should be really nice to this girl. And then she shows up, she's getting made fun of, she's dancing awkwardly, and here comes saving grace, Ariana Grande, aka Galinda, coming in to save her. Although you kind of caused her to even be in that situation. It was touching. Like, don't get me wrong. I feel like that was a turning page for me for the movie, because I don't like musicals. Me either. We were there for my baby sister Ava. I do not like musicals, and I felt like some of those songs were a teensy bit too long. And hey, don't come for me, but also a little bit unnecessary. Like the intro song with I gotta stop calling her Cynthia, with Alphaba when she's like singing in the field. We could have cut that whole scene out.
I think people thought that was an amazing scene.
I think we
and maybe it's
cut
a
that
big thing in the
musical, perhaps.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
I think it was just a couple songs too long. And yeah, so anyway, when we get to the actual like dancing moment, and I feel like that's when I really saw the connection between those two. I won't lie, that was a turning page for me with the movie. I was like, wait, this is actually kind of good. But then I had to sit down and digest the film, and I was like, but she did set her up to even be bullied, you know, and then just to be saved. Another part where I felt like she was kind of playing the white savior was even with her sister Nessa. You remember how like that little boy, that little munchkin boy wanted to date Ariana? She was like, no, take out Nessa. And he did it. And Nessa was like telling Alphaba how we should be so nice to her because she's amazing and she got me this date. That was to get him off her. Like it wasn't even genuine, you know? So I felt like they just kept making her out to be this like perfect, you know, princess, but she's actually really a mean girl who just so happens to be funny. You're like, I don't want to get canceled. Also, I didn't realize that Nessa is the Wicked Witch of the East. And I didn't realize that she's the one who's gonna get the house swallowed on her. And remember, I was just talking to you about Easter eggs. Like before we were filming, I was telling my mom about all these different Easter eggs that I've been finding on Twitter. And did you realize that the shoes that she got from her mom, those silver shoes, that's supposed to be a note to the red rubies that Dorothy's gonna get?
Okay.
Because remember, like when
they
the
look
house
more
falls
like
on
glass
her,
slippers to me.
I thought so too, but apparently I guess they didn't want to keep it red. I feel like if it was red, people would have called it out, you know, sooner. But yeah, that was apparently the shoes that eventually Dorothy's gonna wear.
I thought I saw red shoes somewhere throughout that. It was so long. Anyway.
It was.
It was so long.
It was very long. Again, they could have cut a couple of songs. That's just my opinion.
It was the singing. Look, don't come for me. Like, I don't like musicals.
A lot of my friends, I posted our little text exchange that we were having during the movie of us being like, wow, there's a lot of singing. And my friends were like, well, yeah, it's a musical. And I'm like, but I don't recall musicals having 4-minute long songs.
Right. There was like soundtrack.
It was a like, whole soundtrack, and I promise you, it was 85% singing, 15% talking. There were a couple of scenes I think we could have like just talked through. We didn't need to sing to each other.
I must say, like, as much as I don't like musicals, I did like this movie. Like, I did. I thought that it was so well done that even someone like myself who just cannot stand a musical at all, I liked it. You know, I liked it a lot. And I think it had a lot to do with Ariana and Cynthia.
No, definitely. Some people feel like it didn't feel like 3 hours. I don't know if I would agree.
I would agree.
Okay. I feel like
it felt like it when I was in there, though.
It did. I think again, like it got really good for me when they had their whole moment, you know, the dancing. Then we got into the popular song. It was like, oh, this is cute. I really enjoyed it when they started to go visit the Wiz. That whole trip.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the scene when when Galinda was like, I love that. I thought that was freaking hilarious.
So funny.
Yes. Yeah. It was just so cute.
No,
and then when Alphaba would try and do it.
No, she's hilarious. Fully committed to the bit. That was absolutely funny. Let's talk about the prince. The prince. The guy who we literally thought that was going to be the reason why they stopped being friends.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Who do we think he likes? Or do we think he just likes everyone who gives him attention?
No, I think he definitely liked Alphaba.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I thought he was into Glinda too, just because of their whole song that were meant for each other.
I thought he kind of like blew her off once he had that moment with Alphaba.
And okay, here's me overthinking this scene, but I started watching some more clips online. When they steal that little lion, that cub from the cage, is that supposed to like talk about, or because you know how part 2 is gonna be later in the timeline. Is that supposed to be the cowardly lion?
It might be.
That they like saved.
Yeah, nice catch.
Because did you notice how like soft and shy he was, and like and scared he was to get out of that basket?
That was a good one. Nice. That might have been, what did you call it? Easter egg?
Easter egg? Like, that might have been an Easter egg. Okay, this is the last one. I'm going to be a hater. But when she was talking about kind of having a crush on him, instead of having her sing, I would have had her write in her journal and then talking in her head. We didn't need to... I just felt like we didn't need to sing it.
Look at you rewriting it.
I'm like, these are my little notes. If you guys have a feedback box.
I have notes.
You have a feedback box. The last big point, though, I wanted to make was, what did you think about the production? And how big this budget was.
I think it was well worth it. I mean, you look at even the marketing that they have done.
I know.
I mean, they have put a lot of money behind this. And look at it. It's what, the third highest.
Oh, really?
Of 2024.
Okay.
And I believe it's the highest musical adaptation.
I did hear that. Yeah.
Period. I think. So I think because you're talking about Chicago with Queen Latifah, and I mean, like, so I think money well spent.
Yeah,
good choice. And for someone who's really sick of Hollywood constantly redoing something, like, I wasn't mad at this one.
I also, because there's never been a Wicked movie, I also feel like that's why people are so excited about it.
Yeah.
I know the ladies from Broadway, I'm not good with names, but the ones who play
Kristen Chenoweth and Adine, I don't know her. Taye Diggs' ex-wife.
Please.
Dina Menzel, something like that, yeah.
They were both saying how even when they were on Broadway, they used to always hope for either a show or a movie, and they were hoping, which is so sad, they were hoping to be alive when it still happened.
Oh, wow.
And so it meant a lot for them to even be able to be in the movie. Yeah, that meant a ton.
That was cool.
That was really cool. Did you see my message to you about the salaries?
No, do tell. I want to hear
Why? I want you to take a guess how much you think The Wiz made.
Well, he's the Fly, and what is it, Jeff Goldblum or something?
Yeah,
like
he's
that?
like a well-known actor.
Yeah. Okay. So, oh God, I'm not good at this. Okay. Is he one of the highest? Mm-mm. Okay. So then 2 million.
Yes. Right on the head. I also believe the doctor, I should remember her name from the film, but you know who I'm talking about, the main professor. I believe she also made 2 million.
Okay.
So how much do you think Ariana Grande made?
At least 10 million.
15 million.
Okay.
Now how much do you think Cynthia made?
5 to 7.
$1 million.
And here we go.
Literally, people were like, this is exactly what Taraji P. Henson was talking about. Cynthia, who is
and I thought it was more.
Actor.
Look at me giving her more.
Do you know that
Still hoping that Hollywood will get it right.
No. Do you know that they already tried to put themselves up for the Oscar nominations, which I think very deserving. And they listed Cynthia as the lead actress and Ariana Grande as a supporting. So why is it supporting? I understand that Ariana's more popular.
Yes.
However, Cynthia is the long-standing actor, just as talented, can really belt a note. $1 million?
Yeah.
I know that's salary, so some people are like, oh, maybe she got some percentages of the soundtrack, but I'm sure Ariana did too.
Of course she did. Of course she did. Oof, that's a tough one. Now, I don't know if I would have known that. I don't know that I would have put my money.
Really, you wouldn't put your. I just found this out today.
I would not have
via
supported
TikTok.
it.
I'll put the TikTok link down below.
I would not have supported it.
One of those like little journalist people. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I would not.
Hopefully, it's inaccurate.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Sounds
so
about
either.
right to me. You're gonna look it up?
Let me just. Oh, no, I do fear it's not. It's not wrong. Yep. Oh, and then Jonathan Bailey, the Prince, only got $450,000.
Well, he didn't have a huge
He didn't have
role.
that. Yeah, that's true.
I'm
that's
not mad at that.
And her man, Ariana's man, who played in there, got $350,000. people were surprised by that, but they're thinking perhaps he'll get that much. Sorry, perhaps he has a larger role in the second movie. Because I think that this is their official salary altogether.
Oh, that's
for
awful.
both films.
Ooh.
I think.
Oof.
I would have to read more, but it looks like this was, $1 million.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
I wonder if she knew.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm trying to think back because, I mean, obviously this movie wasn't made like yesterday.
It was in 2022.
Okay, so we'd have to think about, like, I mean, the star power is Ariana Grande. Let's just be.
But people were
I would have to say
excited for Cynthia.
I mean, okay, other than Harriet, what was her other big film?
What I'm about to pull out.
Yeah, what is her other big films?
Why do I feel like...
Yeah, I don't see one. I'm not saying that...
Okay, so that's fair.
Okay, but Ari, I mean, Ari's she is a pop star. So, I mean, you know, it's no different from, I'm sure Beyonce made more in,
that's fair.
You know what I mean, than Jennifer Hudson, even though Jennifer Hudson got the Academy Award. So maybe Cynthia wins like that. She gets the Academy Award. Her, you know, her cachet rises as a result of this film. And I'm sure that's why she took $1 million.
For sure. I just think that's a humongous gap.
Huge.
Even if she got 5, I wouldn't have been talking like this. I think 5, I would be like, okay, like for both films, but $1 million and you're the lead actress.
I mean, look, I mean, even the Wizard, who had like 5 lines, got more than
got $2 million.
Got twice as much.
And so people were saying, though, perhaps he'll have a larger role in the second film. Maybe that's why, but that's still... Because Cynthia's going to have just as large of a role in the second film.
She's going to be
the lead. Yeah, so once again...
Here we go.
Once again... Well, this was fun.
This was fun. Yeah. I loved it. Thanks for asking me.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
I loved it.
Maybe that should be like a little series, like wine and review. That was the thing that she like kind of came up with, the wine review title. So yeah, maybe we'll do like another one. I'll be here for quite some time during Christmas. I can't say Christmas break because I'll be still working from home. But around the holidays, yeah, I'll be home. So maybe we'll do another review. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks again, Mom, for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. And anything else you gotta say?
Cheers.
Catch you on the next one. Peace.